Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jeff Bridenstine with PassiveIncomeUnlocked.com, and today I want to show you how much money you can make with simple niche websites. So back about 7 or 8 years ago, probably just like you, I saw online that you could build websites and make a fortune. So, I jumped right in, started building a site. I actually built a couple of them. My wife even started one as well. And we just picked, hobbies that we were into and just started writing on anything and everything. And as you can expect, we made nothing. So everyone tells you, it's so easy and you can just jump online, start writing articles and make a fortune. It doesn't really work that way. So that's basically what I want to kind of go over with this video, kind of show you where I started, where I am today, and what the difference is between those 2 points. So when I started those sites originally, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought you could just write on whatever you wanted and people would eventually find you. Sometimes you can get lucky with an article or two, but for the most part, it doesn't really work that way, and you're going to make nothing if you just write on what you want. What you really need is a system, a systematic way to find these are the right keywords to target. This is how to gauge the competition. This is what kind of content I need to actually rank, and so on. So there's a lot of variables in play, a lot of techniques you need to know about. Most of them are very simple, but when you put them together as a whole, very few people actually succeed. So jump ahead to today. I started another website with my wife probably about 4 years ago, and then since then we've added 3 other members to our team, or 2 other members to our team, so we're a 4-person team, and we now have 5 websites. One of them we just started within the last 6 months, so we're not looking at that one too closely, but the first 4 sites have had about 2 to 4 years of time of growth, and as of right now, as of last month actually, each of those 4 sites had over 250,000 page views. And along with those 250,000 page views or more, as a whole, those 4 sites brought in over $28,000 of revenue. Now with our business model, our expenses are actually very low, and we do outsource some of the work, and we spend about $5,500 a month. So with that $28,000 last month minus our expenses, we're basically looking at a little bit over $22,000 that we made in profit last month that we could split between the 4 of us. So that $22,000 for us and for most people, that's life-changing money. That's the type of money that you can actually quit your job and live off of building websites, which is just crazy when you really think about it. 2 of our team members actually have already done that, and then me and then 1 other team member are still working. But the thing is that this business model is so passive once you get it down that you can have a full-time job, spend 5 or 10 hours a week in the evenings or the weekends to chip away at your business and keep growing it day after day, month after month. And speaking of growing, this month we've already made more than last month, and we still have the rest of the month to go, about 5 days here. We're going to probably clear $35,000 this month. So we're still in growth mode on all 4 of those sites. And the site that we started about 6 months ago, that one's tracking very nicely. It's just going up like we expect. So basically our track record here is 4 for 4, and we can already tell that site 5 is going to be 5 for 5. The reason that works is instead of what I did the first time, where I basically just said, I'm going to write on whatever I feel like writing about and hope that people find me, I took a ton of time, night after night after night, researching. I read hundreds of blog posts on how to build niche websites. I watched tons and tons of hours of videos. I took a couple of paid courses, and I just picked and grabbed all the tips that I could find from all those sources on how to actually do this the right way. And then I started to go to work. So that's what I did about 4 years ago. And still, even after spending all that time researching and everything, I still made plenty of mistakes. I stayed up late night after night writing my own articles on topics that I knew nothing about, just researching, and those articles turned out fine, so that wasn't the problem, but the targeting was still off. I didn't know how to gauge the competition and so on. I still didn't know exactly what I was doing. But the good thing is I learned enough that by the time I wrote those 100 articles or whatever, I probably had 30 of them or 40 that were winners that were starting to bring in traffic. I could actually start to see that it was going to work. For me, making $1 tells me that I can definitely make $10, and if I make $10, I know I can turn that into 100 to 1,000, and so on. I mean, you can scale pretty much anything. You just have to duplicate the work over and over. So as soon as I made that first dollar, I was hooked, and I pushed harder and harder and harder from that, or after that. So my goal with this video isn't really to brag about anything. I mean, honestly, I spent months contemplating whether or not I was even going to start this channel and start the website that I'm starting along with this channel as well, PassiveIncomeUnlocked.com. I finally decided to do it because a couple things. One, I thought it'd be a fun project to do. This business model has become so passive for the four of us that I can basically set all my work aside, and the other 3 team members can pick up a little bit of slack that I'm leaving behind now, and I can focus on this, and I can work on this, a couple nights a week and the weekends or whatever, and we're still going to keep growing and growing and growing. But the other reason was seeing videos like this back when I first started is what really motivated me to keep going. And a lot of those videos were probably done by people that maybe didn't even have websites that were big websites or whatever. They say they can do this or do this. They try to teach you how to do these things, but you don't really know if they're doing it, just like you don't know if I'm doing it. But you never know if someone's being genuine or not. But whatever the case, it was still motivating for me. It was enough to keep me going down that path to try to figure it out until I finally did. So that was a big motivator for me to start this channel and to share this video with you guys, hoping that it will motivate somebody to push themselves and go down that same path to actually see that it does work. Whereas a lot of people are going to tell you that you can get rich really quickly and it's super easy, I'm not going to tell you those things. Now, it's not rocket science by any means. It does take a lot of work though, and you have to be super patient. So if you're building niche websites the way that I'm going to teach on this channel, you can post that first article or those first 50 articles, and you might not see a real return until 12 months, 9 months, 12 months, somewhere down the road there. So you have to be super patient, and you have to be committed. And that was the other thing for me. Like I said, I made that first dollar, and I was committed. I think there was nobody was going to deter me. I was going to keep pushing forward until I figured it out. You have to have that mentality to succeed. But if you do stick onto that path and you limit your mistakes, I mean, I made tons of mistakes along the way. But as long as you learn from those mistakes, you can just tweak as you go. And as you do, you're going to get better and better and better. And your traffic and your revenue is going to just continue to climb from there. So I just want to keep this video short. I'm not going to go into my method in this video or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of give you an overview. Like I said, $28,000 last month. We're going to probably clear 35 this month. We intend to hit 50 by the end of the year in a month, and we intend to go much higher than that next year. 2 of our sites are less than 2 years old, and the other 2 are 3 years and 4 years old. Those are still very young sites. We're putting a lot of content in those sites, posting basically 3 or 4 times a week on each site. So we're in growth mode for those sites. So as big as these numbers probably sound, they're actually going to get much bigger. That's what we anticipate at least. And I'm going to share a lot of that information on this channel with you. I'm going to share all my techniques that I use, give you tips along the way, mistakes to look out for, that type of stuff. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Wanted to keep it short. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button. Hit that bell notification if you want to be notified of upcoming videos. Definitely check out the website, PassiveIncomeUnlocked.com. I'm going to have a lot of tutorials on that website. They're going to be very in-depth. So, all right, I'll see you guys next time.